Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Levin, on June 19th of last year, Senator Mark Warner's office, it may have been 2013, I think it was 2013, or no, 2014. His office sent a letter to OPM questioning the nature of the agency's credit monitoring contract with Winville CSID. It appears from my records that his office received a reply 4 days later on June 23rd. However, when this committee sent a letter requesting information on the contract, the committee didn't receive a response until a month later, which incidentally was 17 days overdue. Now, what I want to know is what accounted for the extended time it took to respond to this committee versus the quick turnaround for Senator Warner's office? I mean, do we need to ask a senator to send a request for documents so that we can get a timely response for documents?
Thank you for the question, Congressman. I would note that was prior to my arrival at OPM, but I'm aware of what you're inquiring about. So with respect to Senator Warner's letter, if I'm understanding correctly, two major differences. One, it was not a request for documents. I think it was a request for information, and we went and did brief out. We provided a briefing.
Parsing words?
No, absolutely not. The large distinction being Senator Warner asked for some information. We provided information to his staff in an oral fashion, similar to as we've done with committee staff here.
Let me ask you this. Do you prioritize certain requests? Do you give more a higher priority to requests from certain individuals, elected officials, or agencies than you do others? And let me just tell you, I've sat here now for an hour and a half, 2 hours, listening to this. Mr. Meadows from North Carolina and his discussion about the lack of response from the Office of Management and Budget. And, you know, I have to question whether or not you guys respect the constitutional authority that's invested in this committee. I mean, our responsibility is oversight. We owe that to the American people. And I've heard example after example today of how your agencies continue to impede this committee's ability to carry out our oversight responsibilities. It's, you know, there's a pattern here, Mr. Chairman. Before I was a member of Congress, before I was in this committee, there was a letter signed by 47 Inspector Generals. I believe it's 47 out of 72. Is that correct, Mr. Chairman? And their letter, and I believe this is unprecedented, that the OIG's office felt like they had to send a letter to this committee because federal agencies were impeding investigations by withholding documents. It seems to me that that's what's continuing to happen right now. You know, if this were a Department of Justice, Mr. Kadzik, if the Department of Justice sent out a request for documents in an effort to do due diligence in investigating any issue, I doubt seriously that the Department of Justice would look very kindly upon the kind of delays that this committee has experienced. I dare say they might even issue a warrant. It would probably rise to the level of obstruction of justice. But what we've had to deal with here is delay after delay, and to delay is to obstruct, in my opinion. It seems to me that you're running out the clock. There have been numerous requests. Mr. Chairman, our chairman has requested time and time again for dates certain for the production of documents. But it seems to me that you think, and it appears to me you've been very well coached in how to respond to these requests. It just appears to me, Mr. Chairman, that they have no intention of producing the documents. That is frustrating, and it's a violation of the public trust. I yield back.